Welcome here in the Ministry of Defense. I'm here together with my very good colleague and friend John Healy from the United Kingdom. Thank you so much, John, for being here in Copenhagen. It is indeed very important to have a visit from you in these days, and we have also discussed quite many important areas here today. First of all, we have discussed the further support and what we can do to be more active in our endeavors to support Ukraine. And thank you so much for what you are doing in the UDCG. You are doing a very great job, and you know we are very supportive in that area. We've been taking quite many initiatives from the Danish government, and I'm looking forward to do whatever I can do to support you in that context. And also thank you for participating in the exercise going on in Greenland in these days, the Arctic Endurance. That's very important for the Kingdom of Denmark. We have also touched upon that we should be able to have more exercises in the future. Hopefully we could also have an even stronger cooperation between Denmark and the United Kingdom. We have a long history together, being active around the world. We've been in Iraq, Afghanistan, and have a very good sense of being able to work together. Much more of that could be done in the future, or I hope that will be possible. And we have also talked about the frigates that we are hopefully going to buy in the years to come. I visited Scotland it was in December, together with members of the Danish Parliament, and I have underlined that hopefully we'll be able to make a decision on buying new frigates in the months to come, and you are doing a great job in that area. So time will show if we are able to also have a cooperation on the frigate program in the future. But welcome to Copenhagen.
John, thank you. Thank you for your welcome. Thank you for your team for hosting us here in Copenhagen. Denmark is a vital and long-standing ally of the UK. Together we founded NATO. We share the same values. We face the same threats. And in just the last 12 months, we've seen drone incursions in Europe. We've seen Russian spy ships in our waters. And we've seen cyber attacks against our critical national infrastructure. And in this new era of threat demands a new era for defence, and that new era of defence is hard power, it's strong alliances, and it is sure diplomacy. And as JEF partners and as NATO allies, Denmark and the UK are stepping up together on European security. Our nation's shared history, as you say, runs deep. And earlier this week, our Prime Minister reinforced the UK's firm position on Greenland. And as UK Defence Secretary, I know the close relationship and the deep respect that our two militaries have for one another. In Afghanistan, which you mentioned, our forces trained together, they fought together, and in some occasions they died together, making the ultimate sacrifice. And in Denmark last year I deployed a counter-drone unit to help protect Copenhagen Airport and your international conference. In a world when demands on defence are rising, our partnership matters more than ever. So later this year, JEF's Lion exercises, military exercises that will take place across the Baltic, the North Atlantic and the Arctic, will see hundreds of troops alongside ships, planes, drones deployed across the high north, deployed to deter threats and to reassure allies. We have, and we are, and we will further step up together for European security. And in these current uncertainties, we must never forget who our adversaries are and who our allies remain. It's Russian attacks that are escalating in Ukraine. It's Russian activity expanding in the high north with new bases. And it's Russian recklessness that is testing NATO's response and resolve. And so today we've spoken about, together, how we're taking a stand against Russia's aggression, how we're accelerating air defence support for Ukraine, how we're firming up military plans for a post-peace deal settlement, and how we're tackling the Russian shadow fleet. Because a secure Europe requires a strong Ukraine, and I'm proud that our two nations are amongst the foremost supporters of Ukraine and providing military aid. And together we're clear about our mission: to support Ukraine in the fight today and to prepare for the peace tomorrow. And finally, in this new era for defence, we're spending more, but we also want to build more, we want to innovate more together. And we have world-leading defence industries in our two nations. So today we have indeed discussed how much more there is the potential to boost that cooperation between our industries and the potential to drive defence in both our nations as an engine for economic growth and jobs for the future. So, Trolls, our partnership is strong. It will grow stronger in the coming months, and I look forward to working on strengthening that partnership with you. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Dia?
Yes, a question for both Ministers of Defense. Trump said today he won't use military force towards Greenland. Do you believe him, and does it make the situation more safe?
I'll start.
Sure.
Jeg vil give svar på dansk. Jeg noterer mig, at Trump jo har holdt en længere tale i dag i Davos. Jeg har ikke selv haft lejlighed til at følge den, fordi jeg har været optaget af møder hele dagen. Men det, der er afgørende, det er jo, at vi tager et fælles ansvar i forhold til sikkerheden i Arktis. Det gør vi fra dansk side ved, at vi har lavet politiske aftaler om at investere langt mere i sikkerheden i både Grønland, men også i forhold til Færøerne. Men så er det her jo også et spørgsmål om, hvad vi kan gøre mere i forhold til NATO. Og der har vi jo foreslået, og også sammen med gode allierede, set, at der er en interesse i at lave en større NATO-tilstedeværelse i og omkring det arktiske, og det er også helt afgørende.
Yes. I take what the President has said. He's right. Diplomacy is the way to go. And as our Prime Minister said earlier in the week, the right approach to Greenland is a calm approach, an approach of discussion between allies. And I take President Trump's speech and his words today as part and parcel of the necessary steps that we take. But as defence ministers, our job and part of our discussions today has been the challenge that we have already been stepping up to play our part in reinforcing security in the high north and the Arctic. That is a matter for NATO, and we will do it together as NATO nations.
You're talking about exercises, more exercises. How far are you willing to go to help Denmark in this situation?
Well, I mentioned the planned JEF exercises in the High North for later this year. It was a decision that Troll and I took with our 8 other defence ministers as part of the JEF ministers in the High North, actually in Norway in December, before Christmas, or November. It's one of a series, a Lion series. This one will be Lion Protector, and each year we will step that up. This will be a very significant exercise, and it is part and parcel of the way that NATO is recognising the growing threats from Russia, recognising the growing interest from China, and recognising the way that the High North will open up increasingly with climate change and increasingly become an area of competition in which we through NATO, with the US playing a part, will reinforce the security and the deterrence for the future.
TV2.
Så den her øgede militær tilstedeværelse i Grønland, spørger I amerikanerne, om de vil være med til det, og hvad er svaret?
Vi har været meget åbne omkring det, vi har gjort. Vi har orienteret både Sakør, altså NATO's militærchef, men også vores amerikanske allierede om de initiativer, vi har taget i forhold til øget militær tilstedeværelse. Og der har også været en drøftelse i rammen af alle NATO-lande omkring de øvelsesaktiviteter, der kommer til at finde sted her i 2026. Og der er det også min forventning, at vi kommer til forhåbentlig at se amerikansk deltagelse. Senere i den her uge kommer vi også til, som vi også gjorde sidste år, at deltage i øvelsesaktivitet sammen med både amerikanere og kanadier i Arktis. Så vi ser faktisk et godt samarbejde i forhold til øvelsesaktiviteter, og det er kun godt.
Det vil sige, at de bliver orienteret, om de bliver spurgt, om de vil deltage i de her ting, der er i gang nu og kommer næste stykke tid?
Ja, alle NATO-allierede får en indbydelse til at være med i de øvelser, som nu kommer til at finde sted.
Og siger de nej til
amerikanerne har ikke givet tilsagn om at deltage på nuværende tidspunkt. Det er heller ikke sådan, at de har sagt, at de ikke kommer til at deltage. Så vi kommer til nu over de kommende uger at planlægge aktiviteterne her i 2026. Og der er det også mit håb, at vi vil se amerikansk deltagelse.
This is a question for both of you. The Canadian newspaper, the Globe and Mail, is reporting that the Canadian armed forces are preparing for a possible, some would say highly unlikely, but yet possible scenario where the Americans invade Canada. And to go up against this, they are preparing for a insurgency, mujahideen style, a kind of guerrilla warfare against the Americans. Are you also discussing scenarios like this regarding Greenland?
Som jeg har sagt før, så anser det for at være et hypotetisk spørgsmål, at USA skulle angribe Grønland. Jeg har også noteret mig i dag, at Trump jo har sagt, at han ikke vil bruge militærmagt. Så jeg anser det for at være et hypotetisk spørgsmål.
I haven't seen those reports. That strikes me as entirely speculative, and we are not commentators. The way that the 32 nations, including Canada, that are treaty nations of the NATO alliance, reinforce our security is through NATO.
Yes.
This is also a question for both ministers, but especially you, John Hewitt. Can you maybe elaborate on the words you spoke about, recognizing enemies and foes and allies? Is this increased presence in the Arctic, is this to deter Russia or China mostly, or is this to please or, in worst case, deter the Americans?
So I've been arguing for 5 years that the requirement to reinforce security in the High North needs to be higher on the NATO agenda, that it's through NATO that we do that. That was recognised in our Strategic Defence Review that we published last year. It's recognised by NATO, it's recognised by the GEF nations, and we're very clear that this is a security against the Russian aggression, which is increasing, the Chinese interest, which is increasing, and it is part of protecting the Euro-Atlantic alliance at its most northerly flank. And we have seen a good level of commitment in NATO, and there is a discussion about stepping up that still further through an Arctic Sentry operation, which is being discussed at NATO now.
I fully agree with the comments and remarks from John. I would also like to underline that United Kingdom and Denmark for the last 2 years have argued that we should have a stronger NATO presence in the High North. We have also argued that we should do more exercises together. And this is the way forward, and that's also the reason why we have to be better prepared for the future. The area around Greenland is not longer a low-tension area. We have seen that we should be more active, we should invest more, and we should do more together. And that's also the reason why I'm so happy that we can have this discussion here today. Okay, thank you.
Thank you all.